President of Mongolia, His Excellency Khuril Sukhukhna, paid a state visit to the Republic of Uzbekistan at the invitation of President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, His Excellency Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on June 23 to 26, 2024. President of Mongolia Khuril Sukhukhna and First Lady Botlur Tsitsiglovsendorj arrived in Tashkent, the capital city of the Republic of Uzbekistan, on June 23rd. President Khuril and the Mongolian delegation were greeted by Prime Minister of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Abdullah Nigmatovich Aripov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Uzbekistan, Bakhtiyor Saidov, and non-resident Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Uzbekistan to Mongolia, Farhod Nuriddinovich Arziev, at the Islam Karimov International Airport in Tashkent. This is the first state visit by the head of state of Mongolia to Uzbekistan since the establishment of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and the Republic of Uzbekistan on January 25, 1992. President Khuril and First Lady Botlur Tsitsig paid tribute to the Independence Monument of Uzbekistan and laid a wreath. Director of the History Museum of Uzbekistan, Jannat Hamidovna Ismailova, briefly introduced the history of the Republic of Uzbekistan engraved on the museum walls. President Khuril was officially welcomed at the Kuksaray Palace by President Mirziyoyev. After the welcoming ceremony, the heads of state held official talks. President Khuril emphasized that the relations between the peoples of the two countries date back centuries ago, and the two countries have close and friendly relations, sharing similar values rooted in nomadic civilization, history, and traditions. President of Mongolia reaffirmed Mongolia's commitment to strengthening friendly relations with Uzbekistan and expanding mutually beneficial trade and economic cooperation. President Mirziyoyev expressed his confidence that this state visit, the first highest-level visit from Mongolia since the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries in 1992, would provide a strong impetus to strengthening friendly relations and enriching economic cooperation between Mongolia and Uzbekistan with new content. The heads of state reviewed the achievements of the past 30 years and expressed their satisfaction with the opening of a new chapter in the history of relations, defining new directions in relations and cooperation for the next 30 years. To intensify mutually beneficial economic cooperation, the parties confirmed their commitments to expanding and deepening mutually beneficial economic cooperation in areas such as mining, agriculture, light industry, transport, logistics, tourism, education, culture, and health. The heads of state commended the establishment of the Joint Program for the Development of Trade, Economic and Investment Cooperation for 2024 to 2026 and agreed to cooperate in increasing trade turnover between the two countries by 10 to 20 times, supplying wool, cashmere, leather, meat and meat products from Mongolia to the markets of Uzbekistan and other Central Asian countries, and importing fruits, berries and vegetables from Uzbekistan. Noting that hundreds of Mongolian young men and women have received higher education in Uzbekistan, the two sides agreed to revive and expand traditional cooperation in education by exchanging students between Mongolia and Uzbekistan universities on government scholarships. The countries have actively supported each other within the framework of the United Nations and other international organizations and reaffirmed their commitment to further intensifying this cooperation on regional and international fora. Uzbekistan expressed its intention to join the Mongolia-initiated multilateral agreement for the establishment of the International Think Tank for Landlocked Developing Countries. The official talks were held in a warm and constructive atmosphere. President of Mongolia Khuril Sukhukhna and President of the Republic of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev signed a joint declaration on the relationship and cooperation between Mongolia and Uzbekistan. The two parties signed multiple cooperation agreements. Joint Program for the Development of Trade, Economic and Investment Cooperation between Mongolia and the Republic of Uzbekistan for 2024 to 2026 was signed by the Deputy Prime Minister of Mongolia and Deputy Prime Minister of Uzbekistan. 2024 to 2025 Cooperation Program between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uzbekistan was signed by the Foreign Minister of Mongolia and the Foreign Minister of Uzbekistan. Intergovernmental agreement on cooperation in tourism sector was signed by Foreign Minister of Mongolia and the Chairman of the Tourism Committee of Uzbekistan. Intergovernmental agreement on international road transport was signed by the Foreign Minister of Mongolia and the Minister of Transport of Uzbekistan. Intergovernmental agreement on air transport was signed by the Foreign Minister of Mongolia and the Minister of Transport of Uzbekistan. Moreover, the following cooperation documents were signed. Agreement on cooperation in veterinary medicine between the Ministry of Agriculture and Light Industry of Mongolia and the Ministry of Agriculture of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Agreement on cooperation in agriculture between the Ministry of Agriculture and Light Industries of Mongolia and the Ministry of Agriculture of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Agreement on cooperation in trade, economy, science, technology, culture, and humanities between the Governor's Office of the capital city of Mongolia and the Kokimiyat of Tashkent City of Uzbekistan. Cooperation document between the Mongolian National Academy of Sciences, the Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Uzbekistan. Cooperation document between Montsame, Mongolian National News Agency, and Uza, National News Agency of Uzbekistan. President of Mongolia Khuril Sukhukhna, First Lady of Mongolia Bolortseteg Lofsundorj, and President of the Republic of Uzbekistan Shervat Mirziyoyev, First Lady of Uzbekistan Zriyat Khan Mirziyoyeva, planted trees in the Alley of Honored Guests in the Kuksarai residence as a symbol of friendship and partnership of the people of Mongolia and Uzbekistan. It is a tradition that the heads of state and government of countries visiting Uzbekistan plant trees at the Alley of Honored Guests at Kuksarai residence of the President of Uzbekistan or Blue Palace. To contribute to the global efforts to combat climate change and desertification and protect the environment, the heads of state agreed to collaborate in the forestry sector by coordinating the 1 Billion Trees National Campaign of Mongolia and the Green Space Project of Uzbekistan. President of Mongolia Khuril Sukhukhna received Her Excellency Tanzila Narbayeva, Speaker of the Senate of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Oli Majlis. At the meeting, President Khuril Sukh expressed confidence that cooperation between the supreme legislative institutions of the two countries would play a crucial role and contribute to expanding the relations between the two countries. Speaker of the Senate, Ms. Narbayeva, emphasized that the government and the Parliament of Uzbekistan are attaching high importance to the state visit of President of Mongolia and pledged all-around support to strengthen the interparliamentary relations between the two countries. The parties affirmed their commitment to closely deepening the relations between the two countries by strengthening the legal framework of the relations, reciprocating visits, and exchanging good practices between the two legislative institutions. President Khuril Sukh signed the Book of Honorable Guests at the Oli Majlis of Uzbekistan. As part of the state visit of President of Mongolia Khuril Sukhukhna to the Republic of Uzbekistan, an opening ceremony of the Embassy of Mongolia in Tashkent was held on June 24, 2024. The opening of the Embassy of Mongolia in Tashkent, the capital city of the Republic of Uzbekistan, is a clear expression of how much importance Mongolia attaches to expanding relations and cooperation with the Republic of Uzbekistan. I am confident that it will boost bilateral cooperation in all sectors, dramatically increasing trade and investment between the two countries and further strengthening the friendship and people-to-people ties of Mongolia and Uzbekistan. The opening ceremony was attended by Prime Minister of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Abdullah Nigmatovich Aripov, Deputy Prime Minister of Mongolia, Amirsahan Sambuyan, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Uzbekistan, Bakhtiyor Saidov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia, Patsitseg Batmuch, and Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Mongolia to the Republic of Uzbekistan, Batbatar Dadanhu, and other officials. President of Mongolia Khuril Sukh and President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev met with the representatives of business communities of the two countries. The presidents expressed their commitment to supporting enterprises in various leading economic sectors such as mining, agriculture, light industry, transport, logistics, and tourism, aiming at increasing the trade turnover by 10 to 20 times in the near future. Currently, more than 10 Mongolian enterprises operate in Uzbekistan. The business forum organized during the state visit saw the participation of representatives from over 300 enterprises from Mongolia and Uzbekistan. The Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Uzbekistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry renewed their memorandum of cooperation and agreed to establish a joint business council. The delegation accompanying President Khurelsukh included representatives of over 40 Mongolian national manufacturers, small and medium-sized enterprises and producers. As of last year, the trade turnover between the two countries was $10 million, with a steady increase since the pandemic, despite the limited range of goods. Mongolia exported $4.6 million worth of leather, frozen mutton, beef, and goat meat, while importing $5.4 million worth of grapes, fruits, food products, refrigeration and freezing equipment, and trucks from Uzbekistan. As part of the state visit of President of Mongolia, Khurelsukh, to the Republic of Uzbekistan, the Mongolian Philharmonic Marinhor Ensemble and the Uzbek Academic Orchestra of Folk Instruments performed a joint concert on June 25, 2024, at the Tashkent City Congress Hall in Uzbekistan. Under the auspices of the heads of state, the joint concert commenced with addresses by the Deputy Prime Minister of Mongolia, Mr. Amirsehan Saimboyan, and Deputy Prime Minister of Uzbekistan, Mr. Jamshid Hodjayev. The concert featured 21 Mongolian and Uzbek masterpieces performed collaboratively. Among the audience of 1,500, there were representatives from the Uzbek government, business community, diplomatic missions, and the Mongolian community in Uzbekistan.